Well, Barnsley have Walton in goal. Jack Walton, who's in his 9th season with the Tykes, but he's been deposed as first choice keeper by Brad Collins this season. Helliwell, McCarthy, Anderson, Kitching and Adore, the back 5. Then Stiles and Benson. Thomas has played as a false 9 at times this season, likely to play more as a number 10, in behind Devante Cole and James Norwood, very experienced striker, man that's scored more than 100 goals in the National League and more than 60 senior goals as well. The bench for Barnsley tonight: Williams, Cundy, Hondermark and Wolf, Connaught, Marsh, Aitchison, Tedic, the Serbian striker on loan from Manchester City who hasn't made his debut as yet, and Brad Collins, who played in the semi-finals of this competition with Burton a few years back. That's Mike Duff's Barnsley, who come out away to our right-hand side in their red shirts, white shorts and red socks. Always a little bit of rotation for the League 1, League 2 teams in this competition as well, it seems to be the case. Only 2 of the Barnsley substitutes from the other day starting today. I think Nicky Cadden would have played had he been fit. He's suffering from a calf problem, but a few with a point to prove in that Barnsley team.
Again, I think it's a realism from those managers, coaches. Are Barnsley going to win the Carabao Cup? Probably not, is the answer. And that's not being disrespectful, it's just being realistic. So it's an opportunity for those fringe players to get a game, maybe rest 1 or 2 players. We know how difficult the Championship, League 1, League 2 is. Saturday, Tuesday, all the way through. It's an opportunity to give those players a rest, give younger players an opportunity to impress as well. But I remember possibly 2 seasons ago now, I don't think I was with you, but Chelsea went to Barnsley in one of the cup games. And Barnsley gave them a real good go. Completely a different team, obviously, but just goes to show, sometimes coming here, what an occasion for Barnsley. Yorkshire derby, by the looks of it, pretty much a full house, barely a spare seat in the house. What an opportunity for those Barnsley players to come to Ellen Road and try and turn Leeds over.
Yeah, it's a fantastic crowd. I mean, it's certainly going to be north of 35,000 here tonight by the look of it, and expecting a decent occasion, certainly an opportunity to have a look at some of the relative fringe members of this Leeds United squad. First view as well of the Colombian Luis Sinisterra. They paid £25 million for him when they signed him from Feyenoord. He's had his injury problems since his arrival. He got injured in a game against Crystal Palace and has struggled to get too many minutes, but we will see him from the start for the first time tonight. John Brooks is the referee, and the pre-match photographs are just taking place. The shake of the hand with the mascot and Liam Cooper. Good to see Cooper back as well, who's missed all 3 games so far through injury. What a pro Liam Cooper is, a man who's the survivor of the league side that reached the quarterfinals of this competition 6 years ago, but good to see him back.
Yeah, and also you've got in there obviously Forshaw, that's had real bad luck with injuries. Great back to see him playing as well. Matis Klick in there as well, who's been pretty much never present since Marcelo Bielsa came in, sort of revived his career, and he's been a magnificent servant. There was talk they might be leaving the football club. That looks like he's going to stay around now and fit into Jesse Marsh's plans. Leeds have got some very, very good senior players in there, and that, as I talked about, the 2 centre-halves, the 2 centre midfield players will be actually vital this evening.
And players from both teams before kick-off take the knee. A reminder, there is no room for racism. So we're underway. Second round Carabao Cup tie between Leeds and Barnsley. Leeds have won the last 4 matches between these 2 teams. This is the first ever meeting of the 2 sides in this competition. First cup tie at all between the 2 sides in over 20 years. It's more than 10 since Barnsley last won here at Ellen Road. Craig Davis, the man that scored the winner in a championship fixture then back in 2011. It's Barnsley on the front foot from the off, with Stiles, the Hungarian international, trying to get the ball forward. And a first chance for Clark O'Dore, the Kenyan, who made 1 appearance here for Leeds at the beginning of his career before making the move to Barnsley. And he's good, quick, sharp turn on the left-hand touchline wins a throw, and then it's going to be swiftly followed by a Barnsley free kick as Benson is brought down, and a first chance for McCarthy and Anderson to make their ways forward. This is a decent position for Barnsley.
Yeah, lively start from Barnsley on the front foot, and this is crucial. Got to make the most of these set pieces. It's all about the delivery. Get the delivery right, put the Leeds defence under pressure. It's a very, very high line.
It's outside the penalty area. The free kick itself is only about 12 yards outside the box. And it's swung in right-footed by Benson, headed towards goal. Meslier can watch it wide. But a decent effort as it was swung in. I think it was Anderson that was there to attack it, but couldn't get the kind of contact that he wanted. It's Anderson, who's played every minute so far this season. The Danish centre-half, one of several in this Barnsley side who played more than 100 games for the club. Here's Liam Cooper now for Leeds.
Interesting one here, Jim. I'm sure you've seen Barnsley more than me. No sponsors on the shirt.
No?
It's quite unusual, isn't it, in this day and age?
It is. Nottingham Forest in the same boat as well at the moment.
But they seem to have one on the back of the shirt at the bottom.
Well, everything's got a price, hasn't it? I suppose if that price hasn't been met, I would imagine it is being done for those commercial reasons as opposed to just the sanctity of the shirt, like the old days. But it is strange that you really don't see it very often these days. The Barnsley have given a free kick away. We'll keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in from elsewhere. Suffice to say that all the League Cup ties have started, but it's goalless here at Forest Green, at Wycombe, and in Birkenhead as well, between Tranmere and Newcastle United. And we've got a choice of live commentary tonight. If you want that Tranmere Newcastle game, it is live for you right now over on TalkSport. And has been given away. Devante Cole with an effort on the edge of the penalty area. His left-footed shot, well saved, easily saved in the end by Meslier. But it's just been a little bit of a fragility about Leeds in the early stages, and sloppiness about some of the passing. They got away with that one.
High press from Barnsley, putting them under pressure. Manager on the sideline saying, look, come on, drive forward, put them under pressure, especially the young players. They're saying, look, put the fullbacks under pressure. Two young players haven't played an awful lot of football, and similarly to the wide players as well. Let them know that they're in a game early on.
And Jesse Marsh is cutting an animated figure on the edge of his technical area at the moment. Not happy with the way that Leeds have started. Underhit back pass at the other end was got to first by Walton, the Barnsley goalkeeper, and sends a spinning clearance towards halfway, but Thomas can pick up the second ball and drive Barnsley forward again. It's a confident start from the League One team. Ball through towards Devante Cole, just overhit for him, and Meslier dived and then deliberately drew his hands away and made sure that the ball goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Leeds. They, I think, would quite want to have the first 5 minutes back, Leeds United, because they're just not got going at all so far. There is still 0-0 here at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2.
That's credit to Barnsley. They've really been on the front foot. 4-4-2, putting Leeds under pressure. Just the wrong decision by Thomas, I think. Trying to slide Devante Cole in when he was on the edge of the box. I mean, that had to be Messi-esque type assistance, the precision of that pass. For Devante Cole to get on the end of it and be able to swivel and shoot. 18 yards out, he probably should have just put his foot through it. Stuck it goalwards, and even if Meslier saves it, comes back off, and perhaps Devante Cole gets a simple tap-in rebound.
Devante Cole, son of Andy Cole, who scored the winner in the final of this competition back in 2002 in his Blackburn days against Spurs. Andy scored here at Ellen Road for Newcastle, for Manchester United and for Blackburn. And will Cole Jr. be able to follow suit against Leeds United here at Ellen Road tonight? He has played them before, back in his Fleetwood days, actually in this competition 6 years ago. Leeds victorious on that occasion. Started slowly tonight, 5 gone, 0-0 here on TalkSport 2 in West Yorkshire between Leeds United and Barnsley. Coming deep in the midfield, Somerville just drops it off at the feet of Adam Forshaw, who's put under pressure by Benson, but the pressure not quite telling. It's a real intense press from Barnsley, an impressive one as well. Norwood trying to flick the ball away from the young fullback Drama, who had a very good loan spell the back end of last season down at Cardiff. And Leeds will work it forward here for Sinisterra. It's a good touch from the Colombian, just to drop his shoulder and turn into space in the midfield. Ball goes back for Llorente, who's on the right of the two centre-halves for Leeds. Ball from him into space. Joe Gelhardt dropping deep. Receives it, spins it wide out for Hjelde. Hjelde, another second-generation player. His dad, Jean Olaf, on the books of Nottingham Forest back in the day. And Hjelde will lean down in front of the Hoardings over on the far touchline and pick up the ball, which has gone out of play, and take a throw for Leeds United midway inside Barnsley territory. Gelder again put under quick telling pressure by Helliwell over on the far touchline. It's gone out of play for another Leeds United throw. 6 gone. It's 0-0. Here's former England defender Danny Mills.
Good start to the game. I think Barnsley have come out of the blocks very, very quickly, have disrupted Leeds so far. Leeds can't quite get their passing going, can't quite get their rhythm going. Jesse Marsh on the touchline, very, very animated, pointing, shouting, trying to move his players around, trying to get them going a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, they haven't got going at all. The opportunity here potentially is a clearance from Walton, which wasn't the best, was headed back by Click. And Leeds will pick up the second ball on the left-hand side with Sinistera. And he will play back for Forshaw, out towards Hjelde in his bright yellow boots. A player ordinarily a centre-half, but playing at left-back for Leeds tonight. Now a chance to deliver from that left flank, headed away easily by Kitching on the left of the 3 Barnsley centre-halves. Click turning it forward. This is much better from the Premier League side. Opportunity for Greenwood. Greenwood into the feet of Somerville, and back for Greenwood again, and just overhit the ball for Cody Drama on the right-hand side. And it drifts out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Barnsley left.
Greenwood just trying to force it, just trying to hit it a little bit too hard, and that can happen. Young players trying to impress, massive crowd here as well, that gets the adrenaline flowing. Just got to make sure that they stay calm. It's easy to say, you know, when you haven't got the ball, you've got to run around and close people down, but when you do turn the ball over, that transition period, you've suddenly got to take a breath, calm yourself down, and make sure you keep the ball.
It's gone out of play for a Barnsley goal kick. Jack Walton's going to be in no huge hurry to take it, understandably perhaps. Barnsley have already had one notable scalp in this competition this season. They beat Middlesbrough in round 1 with a stoppage time goal from Josh Benson up on Teesside. It's been a bright spot in a season that's been up and down so far. 3 wins in the last 5 games in all competitions, but they have lost 2 of the last 3 league games, including that 3-0 home defeat to Wycombe Wanderers. Highly regarded Wycombe Wanderers, albeit at Oakwell on Saturday. Hjelde brings it forward. There's a delay there because the Kitching was doing his boot up. Forshaw playing it out for Llorente. Spanning to his right-hand side for Cody Drama, who drops his shoulder and takes it inside past the door, out towards the right for Somerville. And Somerville gets to the byline, right-footed ball swung inside the penalty area. A little bit too much on it though for Sinistera. It's going to be picked up by Mateusz Click just outside the box. He's got Greenwood in support for him. Greenwood back out for Luis Sinistera, and now an opportunity for him to deliver potentially. He takes on his man, then comes back inside, can't beat McCarthy. Leeds able to easily maintain possession, but will work it all the way back to halfway, where Llorente in fact turns it even back behind square inside his own half for Liam Cooper. Cooper to Hjelde, back for Cooper again. And Leeds after that shaky start have certainly had the majority of possession the last 5 minutes or so. And Barnsley forced to retreat with the back 5 very much a 5 at the moment. Ball flighted forward here by Kitching, hit the nearest Leeds player. Then Anderson climbing over the top of Gelhardt. Looked as though he'd fouled the young Leeds player, but play's allowed to go on. Cooper over the halfway line for Forshaw. And Forshaw will bring it forward down the right-hand touchline into the feet of Somerville, but he couldn't supply him with the return ball, and Cole can bring it away and then give it away as he saw Norwood making a run. Llorente just stepped across the line and was able to intercept easily. He plays it forward for Mateusz Click. It's 0-0 here at Ellen Road with 10 minutes behind us here on TalkSport 2. Neither goalkeeper's had a save to make so far. Adam Forshaw drives it forward. All Gelhardt could do was get his head to it, and Ador's going to be able to clear it pretty easily down the Barnsley left. Cole sliding in, can't get it, and then Greenwood works it forward before Somerville goes to ground. No foul. Good play by Drama, crowd appreciating that. And as it's chipped over the top, Sinistera can't quite get there. Walton spilt it, but he'd done enough by that stage. Just flicking it out of Sinistera's path was enough. And Anderson protected the space in front of the ball for his goalkeeper to be able to pick it up. 11 minutes gone. Leeds 0, Barnsley 0.
Great little scoop over the top from Mateusz Click. Goalkeeper responded very, very well. I think it might have been given as a foul had led to anything. I think might have just caught his trailing arm. But it's important at the moment, I think, that Leeds get Click, Forshaw, Lorente Cooper on the ball as much as possible, because the younger players a little bit frantic at the moment, I would say, almost a little bit too energetic. You know, yes, they're trying to impress, they're trying to play at this ridiculously high tempo and intensity that Jesse Marsch wants, but they've got to make sure they keep the ball.
Now Benson's played it out to the Barnsley right hand side for Helliwell, who just steps away from Forshaw's challenge, plays it further forward down the right hand side. There are appeals from the Leeds back line that the flag should have come up. It didn't, but then when it's chipped over the top by Benson, it's gone past everybody and out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Mellier. Just to reiterate how young this Leeds United side is, the young Dutchman Crescencio Somerville's making only his second start for the club. Leo Hjelde, just 18, playing at left back, only his second start. Drama and Greenwood, both in their very early 20s, are still not gone to their 21st birthday yet, so there is a lot of inexperience in the side. Almost used to Leeds fielding inexperienced sides because of the situation they found themselves in last year. Certainly at the height of COVID and injuries, they were having to play a team that was one of the youngest in their history, so it's no surprise to see Leeds United playing with plenty of rookies in the team, but this is the youngest side that they've fielded for a while, and perhaps it's just taking a little bit of time for them to bed in.
Yeah, and that's why I keep going on about it. It's important to have that experience of those four players, in, you know, two at the centre of defence, two in the centre of midfield, to use that experience to dictate the tempo, to always be available to the younger players and to help coach them through it.
And here is one of those experienced heads now, Mateusz Klich on the left-hand side. Played forward by the pole, looking for Sinistera. Knocked away, though, by Benson, but didn't give Helliwell any chance of being able to control that. And it's gone off him and out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Leeds left. First goal of the 4 cup ties taking place tonight. Wycombe 0, Bristol City 1. Dylan Kadji is the man that has broken the deadlock there. It's 0-0 here at Ellen Road and live at Prenton Park over on TalkSport between Tranmere and Newcastle. Opportunity for Barnsley to bring it away, and they can do it neatly with Styles in the Hungary side that won 4-0 against England recently. Playing the ball forward to Norwood, and then Thomas trying to take it on past Drama. Couldn't get the touch that he wanted, and it's out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Illan Mellier for Leeds United. 0-0 the score.
Barnsley just need a little bit more composure, a little bit more quality in the final third. They've got themselves into 2 or 3 good positions. They've just panicked a little bit. They've overhit that final pass or the cross. It's not quite been right. I think the manager will be very pleased with the way that they've started, but he also knows that they could have done even better at times. Those 2 or 3 positions they've got in haven't really been able to test Illan Mellier.
And the young French goalkeeper has the ball at his feet inside the penalty area and plays it out for Llorente. Leeds United have won this competition. They beat Arsenal in the final with a goal from the late great Terry Cooper back in 1968. Runners-up as well in 1996.
Did you commentate on them, Jim?
I'm trying to think whether I was at the final in 96. I wasn't. No. 68.
No, I didn't mean that
yes. One. I feel old, but not even I'm that old.
I feel old. I did my coaching badges when I think Devante Cole was at Manchester City's academy.
Yeah, it's
a long time ago.
It is catching up with us all, Dan. There's no doubt about that. It's played forward here by Anderson.
I still think I'm 32.
Yeah, your mirror doesn't think you're 32, if that's any sympathy.
Well, to be honest, I've always looked 50, so it's not been an issue for me.
It's Klich bringing it forward for Leeds. The edge of the penalty area, taken on by Sinistera. Knocked away by Anderson. And Klich has done really well. He picked up the loose ball and spun it first time on the half volley out towards the Leeds United right, where good link-up play between Drama and Somerville will get Leeds pushing forward again. Somerville with the ball between his feet, back to the corner of the penalty area. Drama drives it in, but straight into O'Dore. Taking it up is Greenwood, right-footed ball in towards the near post, but Barnsley able to repel it with Anderson. The experienced Dane puts it out for a throw that will be taken on the Leeds United right.
Klich's doing really well. He's just got, clearly he's got an awful lot of experience, played in some huge games, but he's just got an air of composure about him when he gets the ball. He just seems to have a yard or two more space than the rest of the Leeds players.
click-making movement off the ball and receiving the throw that was taken by Drama. Back for Llorente, now to Cooper. Cooper to Llorente again, who fields it and plays it back to Meslier. One of our colleagues here in the press box was speaking to him earlier, Danny, who thought that everything considered, Leeds United's performance and result here against Chelsea was their best since their promotion back into the Premier League in just short of 80 games. And felt that,
I don't know, that first season in the Premier League under Bielsa, that they had some performances, some really good ones.
Horshaw in very strongly there. And Kitching, for a moment, looked as though he was going to square up to him. They just grinned at each other and got back up onto their respective pairs of feet, and both relishing the full-blooded challenge. I think when you consider how bad Leeds were against Chelsea here not that long ago, the back end of last season, the difference between those two performances may be coming into his thinking when he was talking about it. But certainly Leeds, with this great start that they've made this season, still unbeaten, and but for blowing that 2-0 lead at Southampton, would have a 100% record and be joint top of the table with Arsenal. Big games coming up. Brighton away. Brighton making an impressive start with 7 points in their first 3 games as well, and that's where Leeds go at the weekend. Llorente has possession and has worked his square to Liam Cooper, and Mike Duff in his grey and black t-shirt, and just on the edge of the technical area, the former Cheltenham manager, just exchanging a few thoughts with the forward line and movement he'd like to see them make. They've got some defending to do first as the ball is played forward down the Leeds right, but Anderson has cleverly used his experience and his body to just make sure he can protect the ball over the line and get it away from Somerville. He goes out of play for a goal kick which will be taken away to our right-hand side by the Barnsley goalkeeper Jack Walton, and the Tykes have got through the first 20% of the game unscathed, and Walton's not out of safe to make it 0-0.
No, that was really good defending. You know, Somerville, young, fast. I think he played against Fulham last year in the Carabao Cup.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah, exciting prospect. Hasn't really had too much first team, opportunities. But that just goes to show why the young players, that they need real game football, because all that experience, although the defender's not as quick, he uses his body, puts it in the right position, uses his strength and just eases him out of the way.
Yeah, that appearance that Somerville made against Fulham last season was his only previous start for the club. He hasn't made a full Premier League appearance as yet, although he's come off the bench in 7 games. Drama gave him nothing to attack there.
And he was a big money signing, wasn't he?
Yeah, he came from Feyenoord with a big reputation as well. He's a Dutch under-21 international. Here's Clark Ador, turning away from trouble, guarding it clear of his former teammate Click, and now getting the return ball, can bring it forward. He couldn't supply Cole, who on the stretch tried to poke it back towards Benson, and his presence forced an error out of the Leeds midfield, and it ends up being a Barnsley throw. Right in front of us, Barnsley kicking from right to left towards the Revy stand here, the north stand at Ellen Road, and the throw taken down the Barnsley left, and they've quickly surrendered possession as it was thrown in towards Norwood, and Drama just gave him a surreptitious shove, and it goes out of play off Norwood for a throw which will be taken by Leeds now on the right hand side. First goal in Europe tonight. Dinamo Zagreb lead Bodø Glimt of Norway by a goal to 0. Rangers in action in Eindhoven tonight away to PSV. We'll keep you updated with the goals from there, as the ball worked forward here through the Barnsley midfield, but Thomas couldn't find Cole, and Leeds will be able to bring it away. 0-0 the score.
Leeds again, a great example there of Gelhardt maybe just trying a little bit too hard. It's just got to relax a little bit. It's got to make sure that ball sticks when it comes up front.
Gelhardt will now make his way forward as the Leeds substitutes come out. Sinisterra! That's a stunning strike. Gelhardt laying it off on the edge of the penalty area, and Sinisterra got it onto his right foot, and he rifled one towards the bottom right-hand corner. And although Walton saw it and got a hand to it, he was beaten by the pace. Minimal backlift from the Colombian, who's marked his full debut with an exquisite goal, and Leeds lead Barnsley by a goal to 0.
Really good finish. But the Barnsley players, they just backed off, allowed him time and space. He's able to pick his spot and bend it into the corner. Goalkeeper, no real chance. Fabulous finish. Outstanding strike. Didn't go for too much pace, just bent it into the far corner. But I think Barnes will be really disappointed with that. It was a full 22, 23 yards out, and they all backed off and just said, well, go on then, have a shot. It might even have been a little bit further out than that, but 25 yards. And he was just able to curl it around the defenders into the corner. Very, very good finish. Fantastic individual goal.
His first for his new club. He's scored them at a rate of 1 every 4 games through his career. And Leeds on the front foot again now with Somerville on the right-hand side of the penalty area, with Drama in support for him. A big 10 minutes or so coming up for Barnsley. They've got to hang in there now. Click. Spinning it forward. Big chance for Greenwood. Good save. Walton came out very quickly, narrowed the angle. It could have been 2 in 90 seconds for Leeds United. Greenwood frustrated. Forshaw able to bring it forward now for Leeds. Play back towards Click. Click gets a return ball from Sinisterra on the edge of the penalty area, but Barnsley can knock it away. Styles working it forward. Cole is in there, sliding in. Benson's done well in the midfield. Kitching can play down for a door and then get the return ball to be able to clear. At the same moment that Leeds scored here, Newcastle conceded at Tranmere. And it's Tranmere 1, Newcastle 0, with Elliot Nevitt scoring for Mickey Mellon's Tranmere Rovers at Prenton Park. That game live for you right now over on TalkSport, as again we bring you a choice of listening tonight. Tranmere Newcastle on TalkSport and Leeds 1, Barnsley 0 here on TalkSport 2. Sinisterra with the breakthrough for the side from West Yorkshire.
I think Matthias Klick's influence on the game has been absolutely superb so far. It was him just finding that little pocket of space, just making a little bit of room, dropping off and playing Greenwood through for yet another chance. His shot, unfortunately for them, hit the goalkeeper. But Klick is just finding little pockets of space. He's the only player out there at the moment that seems to have time and space on the ball. Leeds, some of the young players still a little bit frantic, maybe a little bit too eager to impress at times. But now Leeds have taken the lead. They've got the opportunity to just calm themselves down. Problem is, Jesse Marsh is on the touchline, wants every throw-in to be taken quickly, every free kick to be taken quickly, and that's brilliant, but at times just need to give the players a little bit of a breather, allow them to keep the ball.
Leeds in possession again in the midfield. They're getting more space in there now. Barnsley with an excellent start, but have faded as Leeds have slowly found a rhythm. The roar of approval was for an exquisite piece of control from Somerville. Drama then wins the seconds and tries to play it down for Click. Anderson steps across to the left-hand side of the penalty area to knock it away, but Leeds well on top now. The Barnsley arguably the better side in the opening 7-8 minutes or so. It's very definitely been Leeds who have been the better side for the last 15. And they have possession with Forshaw. Barnsley can't get out. And that's a problem when they're hardly seeing anything of the ball.
I think Barnsley are going to have to change their shape or their tactics at the moment, because you're right, Leeds are now starting to dominate. They're passing around at will. Players are finding little pockets of space, and it is, look at Matthias Klick, he's all over the place. First he's left wing, then he's right wing, then he's a number 10, then he's number 8, then he's dropping into number 6. He's almost got a free role to go wherever he wants, and because he's got that experience, because he's got that quality, he's able to find pockets of space every single time. Look now, he's just drifting away from the ball, but he's in, 15, 20 yards of space.
He has it and works it forward, the bearded Pole, using the ball so cleverly again to his right-hand side for Drama, whose cross is blocked by Kitching, and it goes out of play for the first corner of the night, which will be taken on the Leeds United right. Coming up on Saturday, game day live from St Mary's, Southampton against Manchester United, on air at 11 ahead of a 12:30 kickoff with Dean Ashton alongside Sam Matterface down in Hampshire on Saturday. We've also got Sunderland Norwich here on TalkSport 2, 12:30 Saturday, and Brentford against Everton here on TalkSport 2 from 3 o'clock. All those games live and exclusive for national radio on the TalkSport network on Saturday. In comes the corner, which is blocked. Greenwood's delivery cleared. out only as far as Forshaw, who's still waiting for his first Leeds United goal. Hasn't scored for 6.5 years now, since his Middlesbrough days. Barnsley get the ball out of the Leeds United half, but you get the impression it's only going to be temporary, the respite, as Meslier plays it forward for Llorente, and he will get it forward for Adam Forshaw again. Forshaw, to Click, there's a rare mistake from him. And so Forshaw short with the return ball. As soon as he hit it, he knew he'd underhit it. Now it's played forward. Oh, great little turn round the corner. Gelhardt is in here, but he's touched a little bit heavy. And that just allowed McCarthy the opportunity to come across and remedy the situation for Barnsley on the edge of the penalty area. But it's a brilliant instinctive turn round the corner from Somerville that got Gelhardt in, and he'll be frustrated by his own high standards he didn't make more of the opportunity.
I'd love to see that again as well. I thought it was offside. And it was very, very sometimes difficult for the lines when it's right under his nose to have to see all the way across the line. We've not seen a replay yet on our little monitors, so I thought it was offside. But yeah, Gelhardt again. Just sometimes players trying a little bit too hard to impress, a little bit too much adrenaline flowing, touch gets away from it, and that's happened on 4 or 5 occasions for him.
He started the last couple of games last season. The striker known in these parts as Joffe, former Wigan man. He's got a couple of first-team goals to his credit, including a 90th minute winner against Norwich last season, but he's not scored in 10 since then, if you include tonight.
He's energetic, isn't he? He gets about the pitch, exactly what Leeds fans want to see. Yes, he has got quality, but he's just got to... He is still young. He is going to be inconsistent because of that. But if he can just have that little bit of an intake of breath when he gets the ball, make him so much better. And I'm sure that will learn the more and more he starts to play.
Yeah, he's only 20. He's still raw. I think he'd be the first to admit that. He's going to be a fine player, though. Well, he already is a fine player, but he's got a really good career ahead of him over the next 15 years, you would think. Hjelde playing it forward at 18 is a very tall, impressively built player over on that far touchline. It's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken by Hjelde himself. Through the midfield, Sinisterra, the goal scorer, dropping off to meet it, finding Click, play down towards Cody Drama. Somerville making a run ahead of him and dragging Kitching out of position. 2 Barnsley players converge on him, so space elsewhere as they do. Space that's seized upon by Greenwood, whose quick feet were too much for Benson, who's fouled him.
It was an accident, that. I don't think that was... Yeah, thankfully the referee's not going to book him. He didn't mean that. He just got his feet tangled up a little bit and just dangled a leg.
And John Brooks will have a word with him, but rightly I think no yellow card, and it's going to be a free kick which Leeds will take.
Referees are a lot more lenient, aren't they, this season throughout, Premier League, Championship, League One and Cup games as well. I think it's taking 1 or 2 players a little bit of getting used to.
Is the game better for that? I saw an article this week that suggested that quite the opposite, that the fact that the games were now not being policed quite as with as much intensity as it was coming together inside the penalty area there, but the referee said no foul by Cole. It was just a collision between him and Cooper.
As long as you've got consistency, it's not a problem. I think we'd all appreciate that actually it's a physical game. You are allowed to challenge people. You are allowed to touch people without giving away a foul. Tackles, shoulders to shoulders, challenges for headers and that type of thing. We don't want to see yellow cards for absolutely nothing, at times. So I think it's better. As long as you get that consistency, we'll be absolutely fine.
James Norwood trying to bring the ball forward for Barnsley, but couldn't get the touch to flick it past Llorente. It's another lovely touch from Sinisterra, and Click has played a superbly weighted return ball to get the Colombian forward down the Leeds United left-hand side here. Gelhardt trying to get across the near post. Sinisterra has his legs taken away from underneath him, and Leeds have a penalty and the chance to double their lead from the spot.
Sinisterra just sucked him in. Great ball from Matthias Click to put him in, and he slowed him up. It was very, very clever, Sinisterra. He got McCarthy, he slowed him down, then he sped up, and as he knocked the ball past him, McCarthy dived in, contact, down went Sinisterra, penalty.
And one of the easier decisions for John Brooks. And Mateusz Klich has the chance from the penalty spot to make it 2. Straight run up, addresses the ball and sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Just waited for one to commit himself and rolled it slowly, languidly past him, right down the middle. Mateusz Klich makes it Leeds 2, Barnsley 0.
He's a very, very good penalty taker. Very, very calm under pressure. Waits for the goalkeeper to move, rolls it in the other side. I'm really pleased with him. I think he's played very, very well this evening. He's been, without doubt, Leeds' best player. He's made things happen. He's made things tick. He's now got himself a goal as well from the penalty spot. And there's a lot of talk that he might be leaving the football club. Didn't maybe quite fit into Jesse Marsh's plans and the way that he's played. But he's kept his discipline. He's worked very, very hard. And he's got an opportunity tonight, and I think he's been very, very impressive.
Well, he hasn't started a Premier League game this season. He's come off the bench in all 3, and at 32 maybe doesn't quite have the intensity for 90 minutes of Premier League football the way that Marsh's side plays. Somerville releasing Gelhardt here, whose shot from a tight angle is blocked. It's all Leeds now. Barnsley really under the cosh, and Somerville can't hit the top right hand corner. The speculative attempt on the turn from 22 yards out. But Klich has shown, okay, against the side in League One, but he has shown real quality and evidence of a magnificent footballing brain. The way he's played tonight it looks so easy for him.
He looks a level above everybody else on the pitch, doesn't he? He's absolutely superb. And also, it's a massive year for him. It's a World Cup year. You know, he wants to go and he wants to play for Poland in the World Cup. Probably be his last big tournament, perhaps. You know, what an occasion for him to go. And he knows that he needs to keep up his fitness and he needs to play.
Now Drama has got the better of the door. Ball inside the penalty area, flashes across the edge of the 6-yard box. Claims from the Leeds fans in the Norman Hunter stand that Gelhardt was brought down and it should be another penalty. No claims from Gelhardt significantly. Klich almost able to play him in there with a little nutmeg of Kitching, but I don't think Gelhardt read it. Then Klich wins it back from a door, takes it down towards the corner flag, stops the ball in the quadrant, checks back inside. Gelhardt trying to get past the door, can't quite do so, and Benson down on the dead ball line, tries to drive it upfield, before Gelhardt slides in and puts it out of play for a goal kick. But every time you look up, there's an exhibition of Klich's quality. There was another one there, just great vision and speed of thought, if not necessarily speed of body these days. He's just a yard ahead of everybody else in his mind.
That's experience and quality. I said it. You've got the young lads charging around at 100 miles an hour and sometimes running into people, can't stop quick enough. He's assessing the situation all the time and he's just dropping into little pockets of space, never really under pressure, never panics, always looks very, very calm, able to pick a pass. If he does make a mistake, you know, he doesn't go herring after it, chasing it to get it back immediately, just drops back into position. He's been fabulous this evening.
Sinisterra on 21, and then the Colombian won a penalty which Klich converted on 32. It's Leeds 2, Barnsley 0. Reward for 20 minutes of Leeds dominance after Barnsley started really brightly. A reminder that live over on TalkSport right now, Tranmere lead Newcastle with an Elliot Nevitt goal. Tranmere 1, Newcastle 0, still Wickham 0, Bristol City 1. And in Nailsworth in Gloucestershire, 0-0 between Forest Green and a very much changed Brighton side. And Rangers 0-0 in their European tie at the moment as well in the early stages in Eindhoven against PSV. This Barnsley free kick is swung in. Anderson's 2-1. They're back in it. High ball swung over the Leeds back line. Red shirts attacking it, and Anderson slightly stumbled as he got his head to it, but was able to divert it past Meslier, who was flat-footed. Barnsley are back in the game, and only 4 minutes after going 2-0 down, the deadlock is halved. It's Leeds 2, Barnsley 1.
Liam Cooper really not happy with his defence. Can't quite work out, even from the replay, who was culpable for that, but Anderson just drifted in at the far post. It wasn't a particularly dangerous free kick. It was looped high to the far post, cleared everybody. Anderson just threw himself at it completely unmarked, the diving header into the far corner. That really shouldn't happen. You know, an unmarked header from probably one of Barnsley's tallest players got to be marked. Got to be marked tightly. And if you can't win the header, bump him. Don't allow him to get into that position in the first place.
Well, it's only the 4th goal that Mess Anderson has scored in more than 130 Barnsley games. Only the 8th goal of his career. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. And efforts on target have been at a real premium from the Tykes, but
that's their first, I think, isn't it?
It probably is. Certainly Melier hasn't had a save to make. I don't think there's been a block. But a couple of decent chances early on didn't hit the target. When they do have their first, they score from it. In fact, according to the official stats, it is their second. The first attempt they had on target doesn't immediately spring to mind, I must admit, but it is Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. And Mike Duff is furious as Adore has a free kick given against him for a foul on Cody Drama. So 2-1 here. Tomorrow morning, Alan Brazil and Gabby Agbonlahor on TalkSport Breakfast from 6. Joining them from 8, Neil Warnock. They'll react to all tonight's action and the draw for the next round of the Carabao Cup as well, which follows us tonight over on TalkSport. Don't forget the draw for the group stage of the Champions League gets underway as well tomorrow at 5. You'll be able to follow that on TalkSport. Rangers hoping that they're in the draw in action against PSV Eindhoven tonight. 2-1 the scoreline.
Is that the Champions League draw that starts on Drive and finishes on the sports bar at about 12 o'clock midnight?
Finishes on the sports bar on Monday. Yeah,
they like to drag it out, don't they?
Yeah, not much, absolutely. It's all about ratings these days, isn't it? They'll draw it out. And they'll draw them out, and we'll find out who gets who. And the Champions League will be live on the TalkSport network as well over the course of the season.
Let's hope they get it right again.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
They have got it wrong in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, I think that'll have to be a redraw. Now, Llorente has had a free kick given against him for a foul on Thomas. And we talked about how important it was that Barnsley hung in there. Well, they've done that with the goal, and now a set-piece opportunity perhaps to try and expose any deficiencies in that Leeds back line and strike again in the same kind of manner that they halved the deficit just a few minutes ago.
Very similar free kick on the opposite side of the pitch. 35, 40 yards out, level with the 18-yard box, coming out from the goal line. Again, I think this is going to be bent in towards the penalty spot area. Leeds need to defend it better.
Benson and Thomas stand over it. It is Benson that takes it, clipped towards the edge of the penalty area, but not able to hang it up into the space that he was hoping for in behind Liam Cooper, and the Scotsman can get it away. But forward it'll come again with Styles. Left-footed ball chipped in from him. Too much on that for Kitching, who slid in left-hand side of the area, but it's beaten the centre half and goes out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Leeds. 6 minutes to go to half-time. It's Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. Brighton lead at Forest Green by a goal to nil. Dennis Undav has scored that. It's still Wickham 0, Bristol City 1, Tranmere 1, Newcastle 0. Live over on TalkSport. And here on TalkSport 2, Jim Proudfoot and Danny Mills talking you through the action. Salam ala in-stadium producer. It's Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. And the ball is in the hands of the yellow-clad Barnsley goalkeeper, Jack Walton. Walton just waiting for a little bit of movement either side of him. Punts it forward. High right-footed ball deep into Leeds territory, but Llorente was there first. Just knocked down through the midfield by Greenwood. Played for by Drama, but not the best pass. And Barnsley able to pick it up again in the midfield easily. Back for McCarthy. McCarthy to Styles. Styles can turn. Styles will play it out towards the left-hand side. Chance for Thomas to try and take on Llorente, who's able to block the ball that came in. But it's gone out of play for a Barnsley throw right down by the corner flag with 5 minutes to go to half-time. Leeds haven't got a great record in this competition. They've lost at this stage in 3 of the last 4 seasons, and all of those eliminations have come here, including one a couple of years ago on penalties to Hull. Styles getting the ball and then able to turn left-hand side of the edge. Forshaw shoved him over. He has. Penalty to Barnsley. And the 3,000 Barnsley fans away to our right-hand side, ecstatic, because they had the chance to get this back to 2-2.
Well, I'm not convinced on that. Need to see it again on the replay. It's not great defending from Leeds in the first place. That's not a penalty. No way. No way is that a penalty. He stands his ground, he holds him off, there's no push, he doesn't get out of the way, he doesn't need to give ground. I don't know if you just saw it there, we saw it very, very quickly on the replay. That's not a penalty for me. And I think 35,000 Leeds fans agree.
Well, John Brooks thought otherwise and has pointed to the spot, and a big moment here for Callum Styles, who will hit this left-footed against Illan Meslier, and it's off the post! And Leeds survive, and it remains 2-1. Styles with the effort, Meslier diving to his left-hand side. I think got a hand to it. Maybe the post just helped as well. It might just have been Meslier that was able to tip it away.
I would say justice done, but Meslier is a good 2 steps off his line when he hits that. And this is the problem when you don't have VAR. All these times, if that had gone to VAR, I don't think it would have been given as a penalty in the first place. But then Meslier is 2 yards off his line, and this is the problem with the inconsistencies that you get.
Well, looking at the replay, I don't think Meslier got anything on it. It came back off the post. It should have been a retake, if it should have been a penalty at all.
And that's what I mean, and that's the problem.
Well, how much will Barnsley be left to rue that? 9 minutes after going 2-0 down, they should have got back on level terms. Styles takes his frustration for the penalty miss out on Mateusz Klich. He's fouled him, and he gets the first yellow card of the night.
Yeah, he'd be annoyed at himself. What a great opportunity that is from the penalty spot. Like I said, I don't think it was a penalty in the first place. I think Forshaw just stood his ground, was strong. You don't have to get out of the way as a defender. He just held him off. And then the penalty, left foot, dragged it a little bit. But in the perfect world, had it gone to VAR, I think Meslier was a good... Well, he wasn't on the line, put it that way, when the ball was struck.
Jamal Lascelles has equalised for Newcastle at Tranmere, 1-1 there. Free kick to Leeds, 20 outside the penalty area, 2 deep, beats everybody, and Cole watches it out for a goal kick that'll be taken by Jack Walton. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1, Sinistera on 21, Klich from the penalty spot for Leeds on 32 after Sinistera was fouled. Anderson pulled one back 4 minutes later, and then a further 6 minutes after that, Styles missed the penalty, which he himself had won, judged to have been fouled by Adam Forshaw. So it should be 2-2, but it's 2-1 to Leeds. They'll feel that the way that the 44 minutes have transpired, they deserve at least to be 2 goals to the good, but Mike Duff's men have hung in there.
Well, Leeds should really be out of sight. You know, once that second goal went in from Mateusz Klich from the penalty spot, you're thinking, right, that's it, they should really go on now. A goal from nowhere, from a nothing set piece from Barnsley, allowed them back into it, and then Leeds very, very fortunate not to be 2 each, although I don't think it was a penalty. I think Forshaw did absolutely nothing wrong, just stood his ground, but the referee decided to give it. It's one of those, I wonder if he hadn't given the first one, whether he would have given that one.
Did you not think the first one was a penalty?
I think it was, but it was a softish one, wasn't it? It wasn't. It was a little trip. It wasn't a siding tackle or anything like that. I just, you know, sometimes referees think, oh, actually, I gave that one for a little bit of contact, then maybe I have to give that one for a little bit of contact, but I don't think this one was a penalty.
Forshaw plays it back for Llorente. We've gone into 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here on TalkSport 2. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. Now the ball work forward through the midfield for Sinistera. Now Klich getting the ball out from underneath his feet. A beautiful ball chipped over the top for Gelhardt, but he couldn't get between Anderson and McCarthy in time to stop Jack Walton coming off his line and being able to claim the ball on the edge of the penalty area. But great vision again from Mateusz Klich. Walton just waits for everybody to push upfield. There have been moments where Barnsley threatened to play out from the back and Walton has gone long. They're not even pretending that they're going to try and play out from the back this time, and Walton just chucks it outside the box and now rifles it forward, straight out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Leeds right midway inside their own half, with just over a minute of stoppage time to go. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1.
It's not the right thing to do, to play out from the back. I think you know that Leeds are going to put a high press on. They're trying to set little traps, and Barnsley probably haven't got the quality to do it.
Somerville bring it 4-4 Leeds, looking to regain their 2-goal advantage before half-time. Cole comes back to stop him. Click is in there very strongly. Drama loses out to Thomas. Benson then able to emerge with possession for Barnsley and work it out to the right wing-back Helliwell. He finds McCarthy, and in turn McCarthy plays it back for his goalkeeper, who is put under immediate pressure from Greenwood. And Leeds win the seconds as a result of that. Click turning it forward, but not to good effect this time. Anderson, who scored the Barnsley goal, is able to get in there. He plays it down for Benson. Benson to Adore, and Click comes across. Gets an appreciative pat on the back from Jesse Marsh for his efforts, but he can't stop it going out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Barnsley left. Brighton have a second at Forest Green. Forest Green 0, Brighton 2. Stephen Alzate, the Colombian international on target. We've had a Colombian international on target here as well, with Luis Sinisterra giving Leeds the lead. And it's a lead that they have held from the 21-minute mark into half-time. Really entertaining stuff. Leeds much the better sides for long periods of the game. But Barnsley getting themselves back into it. Anderson halving the deficit after goals from Sinisterra and Click, and then Styles missing a penalty and a golden opportunity for Barnsley to be level at half-time. But as the two teams go off down the tunnel away to our right, Danny Mills, it's Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. Tonight concentrating on events here at Ellen Road. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. Double change for Leeds at the beginning of the second half. Cooper and Llorente off. Strauch and Koch have come on, so Hjelde has moved to centre half and Strauch will play at left back. Well, that's the slight tactical change made by Jesse Marsh ahead of the second half. Leeds in all white, kicking from right to left in this second half and protecting a 2-1 lead here on TalkSport 2. No changes for Barnsley. Early touch for the two Leeds United substitutes as the ball is played across the edge of the penalty area, and now to be played forward into the feet of Crescencio Somerville, the Dutchman, who hits a brisk ball back towards Koch, and Somerville put under more pressure, then has to play it inside his own penalty area. Leeds eventually able to pretty neatly get their way out of trouble, beating the press quite superbly. Mike Duff just stands and turns and looks at the rest of his coaching staff, hands out. Leeds brilliantly playing round the press there. Strauch has it. They've got it forward some 60 yards, Leeds. Back it goes for Forshaw. Forshaw to Greenwood in the midfield. Right-footed ball clipped forward. Too much pace on that, and out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Barnsley's Jack Walton. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1 on TalkSport 2.
Yeah, good start again from Leeds. As we said, those couple of changes probably premeditated. Were always going to happen at half-time, no matter what the score. Just protecting players, giving players a game. But then we saw from Strauch there, fabulous overlap down the left-hand side, bundles of energy.
Run through the two teams for you in a moment. In fact, do so now as Robin Koch is fouled. So Leeds Meslier in goal. The second half back line is Drama, Koch, Hjelde and Strauch. And then it's Forshaw and Click, Somerville, Greenwood, Sinisterra and Gelhardt. Barnsley, Walton in goal. Helliwell, McCarthy, Anderson, Kitching, Adore. Styles, Thomas and Benson. And Cole and Norwood up top. Leeds in possession again on the left-hand side with Mateusz Click trying to beat McCarthy. Just gave him a little shove, and referee Brooks has given the free kick to Barnsley in the right-back position. If you're just joining us, Leeds off to a shaky start in the face of Barnsley pressure, but much the better side by the time they'd scored through Sinisterra just past the 20-minute mark. Sinisterra then fouled on 32 minutes and Click converted the penalty. Barnsley's first set piece headed in by Anderson on 36, and then Styles brought down by Forshaw. At least that's how the referee saw it. Styles' penalty coming back off the post, and it remained 2-1. Still that way early in the second half. Long ball forward from Walton, headed back by Strauch, the Dutchman, through the midfield. His compatriot Somerville just beaten to it. And Strauch is able to turn the loose ball forward, and then Helliwell is just given a shove by Sinisterra. No foul though. Leeds able to play their way through the press with Gelhardt, but McCarthy's won it back. Styles, forced to play the way that he's facing, goes back for Anderson. And Ness Anderson, the Dane, finds his goalkeeper Walton, who takes a touch inside his penalty area and now drives it forward. The ball's spinning as it goes over the halfway line. Devante Cole going up for it, flicking it on. It's come off Strauch and had a play for a throw that Helliwell will take for Barnsley.
I think what's good to see is that Leeds are playing with the intensity that Marcelo Bielsa had, but they're much more organised. You know, the defence is staying in their positions. They don't go... The left back doesn't go charging over to the right wing, you know, in that man marking system at times. And when you got against clever teams last season especially, and Man City, I know they're a great team, but they did it brilliantly. They just went and stood in really odd positions, you know, and Leeds players were all over the place, you know, 3-0 down after 15 minutes at the Etihad, getting pulled about. The intensity is still there, but there's much more organisation, and there's a solidity about Leeds which is much, much better under Jesse Marsh.
Barnsley will play it forward again. But the blonde-haired Thomas can't pick it up. Looking for Devante Cole. Strout gets it away. Turned on the half-turn by Sinisterra. And then Gelhardt just colliding with Anderson, but not claiming that he was fouled. Loose ball works its way through towards the goalkeeper, and Strout's boot, as it was cleared by Walton. Strout's boot raised very high, but
he got the ball.
He did get the ball.
So
that doesn't always matter, but
it
wasn't close enough to Norwood's head.
It also wasn't violent, was it? It wasn't a big swing. It was a little flick over his head. I think if you do that, the only way that can be deemed as dangerous is you actually kick the player.
Leeds bring it down the right-hand side with Cody Drama. Drama back for Robin Koch, who's mustachioed these days. Turn to Forshaw. Forshaw down the right-hand side. Drama for Somerville. Somerville checking onto his left foot, working the angle and firing it narrowly across the face of Walton's goal. Not too far away from Leeds being 3-1 up.
Yeah, did well. Cutting from the right-hand side back onto his left foot. Drove the shot goalwards. Almost connected too well. Needed a little bit of bend on it. Didn't, caught it absolutely sweet, and it flew past the far post.
And hasn't scored for Leeds as yet. Crescencio Somerville, he did get a clutch of goals at Feyenoord before his move over here. Walton in no real hurry to take this goal kick. Spotted the ball down and then almost inexplicably picked it up and just chucked it a yard to his right and then drove it forward.
I know that wasn't out of his hands, Jim, but what happened to the 6-second rule for goalkeepers? When was the last time you saw that invoked?
1947, I think it was.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not one that immediately seems to spring to officials' minds, is it?
You know, when people moan about time wasting, goalkeepers take forever.
Forshaw finding Matthias Klick, who had a sublime first half. Andy Cole has wrestled Forshaw to the ground. And it's a free kick taken quickly by Leeds and given away by Forshaw. He's just passed it straight to Thomas, and Thomas will be able to bring it forward. Little nutmeg of Forshaw to add insult to ignominy. Now worked inside the penalty area by Benson. Header from Robin Koch steers it out to the left-hand side of the penalty area, and Strauch will toe punt it away for a Barnsley throw.
Poor ball from Forshaw. Got his pass completely wrong, gave the ball away, but then Thomas didn't quite know how to react. It's almost like he was rabbit between the headlights. Didn't know what to do with the ball. And a little bit of a scramble, but in the end Strauch just hoofing it into the stand, making sure that Barnsley can't score from there.
Wycombe Wanderers back on level terms. Their Iraqi forward Ali Al-Hamadi makes it 1-1 against Bristol City. Somerville chasing a through ball that was overhit and slightly misdirected as well. And Walton comes to the left-hand side of his penalty area, picks it up and bowls it out for McCarthy. So dead level at Wycombe. Wycombe 1, Bristol City 1. Dead level Tranmere against Newcastle 1 apiece. Brighton 2 up at Forest Green. Leeds 2, Barnsley 1. Here at Ellen Road, Barnsley missed the penalty in the first half. Forshaw, the left-hand side. back from Sinisterra, the score of the first Leeds goal, and the man that won their penalty, which was converted by Click. An appreciative cheer from those in the Revy stand as Click's quick turn just left Benson sprawling. Now Greenwood has it. Sam Greenwood out towards Cody Drama. Click making a good run, right-footed, driven in. Hit Kitching, comes back out to the right, but Drama plays it in. The ball hit the hand of Benson. Can't give a penalty for that as it flicked up off his right foot straight into his right hand. It would have been harsh in the extreme. Barnsley able to clear. Drama trying to pick it up. Loses out on the Leeds right. Cole. Strout dealt with him. Plays it back for Robin Cock. Jesse Marsh appreciated that and hands above his head applauds the substitute's contribution to make sure that he realises that it was judged to have been a good piece of play by Leeds' American coach.
I have to say, I think the Leeds senior players have been fantastic this evening. I think they've been absolutely superb. I think their attitude has been spot on. You know, sometimes can maybe not take these games quite as seriously, but I think they've all been absolutely superb. Click has been the best of that.
But he's lost out here to Cole. And Cole driving forward towards the edge of the Leeds penalty area. Finds Styles. Styles trying to tiptoe his way through. No foul this time as he goes down inside the penalty area. And Leeds will clear out towards Gelhardt. But that was excellent approach play from Cole. And then a good first touch from Styles as well. Game beginning to open up as Barnsley commit more bodies forward. McCarthy wins it back to stop any thoughts of a Leeds counter-attack. And here come the Tykes again with a door down the left-hand side.
I think if he'd have gone down under the first challenge, he might have got the penalty. It's almost like he got a little... heels got clipped. He stumbled a little bit and then carried on, and the second challenge wasn't as bad, but that's the one that he went down for. And I think that's possibly why the referee didn't give anything.
Well, we're just having another look at it on our monitor here, Danny. It was good play by Devante Cole to start with. Driving forward towards the edge of the penalty area, turned inside his man, flicked it on towards Styles. Looked as though he was just caught from behind by Greenwood. Stayed on his feet there, tried to get a shot in, couldn't, went down after a second challenge. Mike Duff certainly thought that should have been a penalty.
And that's why I think, had he gone down for the first one, well, he probably still thought, I can get a shot away. And this is the problem, isn't it? If you get clipped and don't go down, the referee never ever gives a penalty. You know, we've seen that so many times.
Over on TalkSport right now, Newcastle lead at Tranmere by 2-1. Chris Wood has given Newcastle the lead for the first time tonight. Leeds similarly 2-1 up here. Click looking for Gelhardt, can't find him. And McCarthy comes across. Gelhardt's done brilliantly. Sliding challenge, wins it back. Backheel flick for Sinisterra. He runs at Styles and beats him. Sinisterra inside the penalty area. It's Click! It's 3! He looks to the heavens and just a little fist pump by way of celebration. He strolled into the penalty area literally at walking pace, found himself in the right place at the right time and bent an exquisite effort into the top right hand corner. Leeds 3, Barnsley 1, and Mateusz Klich, who's been sensational tonight, thoroughly deserves his 2 goals.
He's been absolutely superb. Attitude has been spot on, but in terms of quality, composure, he has been head and shoulders above everybody else on the pitch. The composure that he shows there, a lot of the younger Leeds players, they're running around, there's so much energy, there's so much adrenaline flowing. They're giving the ball away at times, they're not losing their heads, but the ball's getting away from them. They need to go back and watch the video of this game and just watch how Mateusz Klich moves. Look at his positioning. His composure under pressure has been sublime this evening. And as that ball came out, so he didn't panic, he just waited and just stroked the ball into the far corner, almost like it was in slow motion.
A milestone goal for him as well, the 50th of his club career in almost 380 games. Hasn't scored too many braces along the way, and he's got 2 tonight. He's on a hat-trick with a little over half an hour to go. Leeds 3, Barnsley 1.
He's iconic in these parts as well, you know. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but some of the graffiti that he does and the artwork that he does, and of course we've all seen him with the glasses, the cigar, and a little drink maybe.
He's played as if he's had the cigar out at times tonight as well.
No, he's been absolutely magnificent this evening.
Playing with a big grin on his face. And there will be senior pros up and down the club playing for Premier League sides who haven't necessarily matched his application in these second round ties over the course of this week. And some players who maybe might have felt that having to play in the second round of the League Cup was beneath them. Not him. He has taken the opportunity to shine, clearly enjoying himself, and it's been a masterclass.
But if he's not going to be part of Jesse Marsh's plans in the first team, any other club look at him must be thinking, I tell you what, we'll take him, because he's got out and out quality. He keeps the ball, he works hard, he's got an eye for goal.
I think Nottingham Forest want him, and they want everybody else, so would you imagine that they'd be having a look at him? He could do a job for somebody without a shadow of a doubt. He's a fantastic player,
and he needs to play because the World Cup coming up.
Now Sinisterra bringing it forward here for Leeds down the left-hand side. Has been fouled by Cole. Barnsley are going to make at least one change in a moment. I can see that Slobodan Tedic, the striker on loan from Manchester City, is going to be coming on for his debut. There's more action down on the Barnsley bench as well. It could be 2 or 3 changes. 3-1 down. The Tykes, who've been game tonight, very game. But ultimately, class has told at times. Barnsley's away record is something that Mike Duff will know that he needs to sort out. I mean, this statistic hasn't been accrued on his watch, but they have won only 2 of the last 30 games away from Oakwell in all competitions. Leeds on the front foot again. Click, trying to poke it towards goal. Gelhardt, as the ball ricocheted off a Barnsley knee, very nearly able to get there first, but it ends up in the hands of Walton.
Click is enjoying himself now. He's getting the ball. He just poked that through, a little toe poke, little nutmeg. It didn't quite come off, but it could, even from 75, 80 yards away, you can see a big grin on his face.
Barnsley haven't made the changes as yet. Tedic is coming on. Williams is going to come on for them as well. Cole to his left for Styles. Styles trying to get the ball away from Greenwood. And he's played it out towards the left. A chance for Adore to deliver in towards the near post, where Norwood was very nearly able to get across that near post area. I would imagine he'll be one of the players coming off in a moment. Kitching has picked up the loose ball. Left-hand side of the area, played it again towards Cole, who slid in. Is perfectly entitled to go for the ball there, but he's injured Melier in the process.
Yeah, I think he's taken one in the head. Devante Cole, every right to go for that ball as it was fizzed in across the 6-yard box. Melier came out, hands first, head. Devante Cole was sliding in, looking to try and nick in front of him as they're coming together, and sadly Melier is down, hasn't moved a great deal. Could be a head injury, could be serious.
Just having a look again at the replay as the ball fizzed in from the left-hand side. There's a mention he was perfectly entitled to go for it, Devante Cole, but seemingly has done some damage. Well, Leeds will make a change ahead of Barnsley's triple change. Mark Rocker comes on, and Sinisterra gets a standing ovation for his full Leeds debut.
Yeah, fabulous goal, wasn't it? Absolutely superb strike. Hasn't done too much after that, in all honesty. Again, it's the senior players for Leeds who have been the outstanding players. All credit to them. Magnificent attitude. So often in these sort of games, that's what it's all about. You know, when you get lots of changes, it's about having the right attitude. It's about working hard, winning the right first and foremost. And Leeds have done that superbly well tonight.
Well, Barnsley are making a triple change. Williams coming on for Helliwell. That'll be a straight swap on the right-hand side of the back line. Jordan Williams, who started all of the league games so far, comes on. Tedic for Norwood, similarly a straight swap up front. And Adore, the left wing-back, has come off, and he's been replaced by Matty Wolf, who's a central midfielder. So I don't know whether that means that Barnsley are going to change the shape. Meanwhile, Mellier's back on his feet. They will have made sure that all the concussion protocol has been adhered to, that he is okay and is fit to continue. He is. Takes the free kick, and 18 minutes into the second half, we're back underway. So both sides are using that injury break as an opportunity to make the changes. Mark Rocker coming on for Leeds to replace Sinisterra. Somerville with a no-look ball to his left-hand side for Matthias Klick around the edge of the Barnsley penalty area here. Leeds leading 3-1. Mark Rocker square to his right-hand side for Greenwood. Greenwood can't get a shot in, but the loose ball ricochets away to Drama. His touch was heavy and Kitching clears, and Leeds will backpedal very quickly, and Robin Koch lays it back to his goalkeeper Mellier. Leeds have dropped Callum Stiles in at left wing back. That's how they've shuffled things around. So Stiles has taken a Dawes position on the left hand side of the back five, and Wolf has gone into midfield. Strauch down the Leeds left hand side for Somerville. Back for Klick. Klick to Forshaw. Forshaw dropping the shoulder, finding a little bit of space. Klick always able to find the space. Side foots it forward and just away from Gelhardt. It goes through for Walton. You're with TalkSport 2. It's Leeds 3, Barnsley 1 with 25 minutes to go, and these are the thoughts of the former England World Cup defender Danny Mills.
It should be all over now. Leeds have been the better side. Barnsley have had their moments. You know, they've worked very, very hard. They've put Leeds under pressure at times, but Leeds have just had a little bit too much quality. When Barnsley have got into the final third, they've lacked a little bit of composure, lacked ideas at times. Leeds have dominated throughout. And all credit to Leeds' senior players. How often do we talk about changes in the cup, mixed sides? You have to have your attitude right. Senior players from Leeds has been superb this evening, and I think every senior player deserves a lot of credit for that.
Ball headed on by Tedic. Out to Cole on the right-hand side, and he's just overhit it. Goes out of play for a goal kick that Mellier will take. More live football coming up for you Friday night here on TalkSport 2. Your home of the EFL, bringing you exclusive action from Kenilworth Road. Luton against Sheffield United. Saturday game day live. Manchester United hoping that Monday wasn't a one-off. They go to Southampton, where they haven't lost since 2003. 12:30 kickoff. Southampton against Manchester United, exclusive on TalkSport. Sunderland Norwich on TalkSport 2, kicking off at the same time on Wearside. Game day live then with Adrian Durham, David Connolly and Darren Ambrose Saturday afternoon. Adrian with all the goals as they go in from the Premier League, EFL and beyond, including Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, Bournemouth and Manchester City against Palace. Don't forget the full classified results roundup at 5 o'clock only on TalkSport. And also TalkSport 2, Brentford against Everton, and there's a coming together over on the far side, and the referee's going to have to take some serious action now. Forshaw is in there, Kitching is in there as well. It's right in front of the Leeds United supporters in the Norman Hunter South stand, and the referee is just taking a position where he can observe everything that's going on, and there are going to be recriminations here.
There's got to be at least 2 red cards here, surely. I'm not sure the referee's quite sure what's gone on. Of course, no VAR in this situation. Couldn't quite see if punches were thrown. Completely unnecessary.
Well, the referee is calling Kitching over.
The yellow card.
And a yellow card is shown. Cody Drama is the Leeds United player who's involved, and he too is shown a yellow card. Now Hjelde will be spoken to. Is he going to have his name taken as well? Yes. So 3 yellows, and it could have been worse than that.
I'd like to see that again. I'm not sure the referee knew what was going on. What I don't understand is, right, the referee was really close to that. When we talk about game management, he could have sprinted in, stood between the two players and stopped it immediately. But he let it all go off. And then you lose control of the situation when you get 10, 15 players joining in.
So 3 more in the book. Stars was booked in the first half. We've got just a little over 20 minutes to go. Here on TalkSport 2, Leeds 3, Barnsley 1. Strauch clipping it forward down the left-hand side for the run of Click, who's hoping for what will be the first senior hat-trick of his career. He has, in fact, only ever scored twice in a game, once in his career prior to today. Strauch plays it forward here, and he's put it off Williams. Now to play for a Leeds United throw. Click flicking it forward again. Williams winning it back from Somerville. Turned away by McCarthy, brought down by Forshaw. He's 30 yards out. What Leeds fans would give to see him score a goal for the club for the first time. Back he goes for Mark Rocker to Hjelde on halfway. Hjelde to Strauch again. Strauch into the feet of Click. And the bearded Polish international just brings it away from the challenge of McCarthy.
Is that right? He's never scored 2 before.
He only ever done it once in his entire career, which was in a 2-1 win for Leeds at Rotherham back in early 2019.
I'm surprised at that, because I'm sure I've seen him score 2 goals before in a game.
You must have been at Rotherham in January 2019.
Yeah.
It's an amazing stat, isn't it? You'd have thought that he would have done countless occasions.
He scored loads of goals, and important goals as well.
Yeah, 50 in his career for Leeds United and his previous clubs as well. Player that was on the books of Wolfsburg and Cracovia at one stage. He's got a couple of goals for his country as well. Won back well by Somerville.
Speaks about 4 languages as well.
A talented fella, no doubt about that. That's good play by Tedic, and Tedic has played it out towards the Barnsley left-hand side. They trail 3-1. Can they set up a grandstand finale? Not with a ball in like that. It was a disappointing delivery from Thomas. Beat everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick that Meslier will take away to our right. 70 on the clock. Leeds 3, Barnsley 1 the score.
That really sums up Barnsley's game, doesn't it? The fact that they've got into decent positions in the final third and then just lacked quality, composure and ideas, really.
Leeds bring it out from the back. Mark Rocker. Leeds have changed to 4-3-3 with Rocker, Forshaw and Click, the 3 ball in the midfield. Somerville more advanced now on the left-hand side, given the licence to be able to push forward here, and he runs towards the edge of the penalty area. The second time of asking, he can find Strauch, who drives it in. It hits Jordan Williams and goes out of play for a throw that Leeds will take about 15 yards from the corner flag.
And that's that little bit of composure that I'm talking about sometimes with young players. Great pace, attacking people, goes past 1, goes past 2, and then just gets a little bit excited and runs the ball and gives it away.
Strauch. Back for Gelhardt. Gelhardt clipping a clever left-footed ball over the head of the Barnsley back line, but too far away from Greenwood. Sam Greenwood, who cost Leeds £3 million when he signed from Arsenal, hasn't seen the light of day particularly frequently. Only the 3rd start he's made for Leeds. He did start at Brentford on the decisive final day last season. I know Jesse Marsh has been impressed with his contribution. Here's McCarthy turning into trouble, and he's pulled Somerville's shirt, and the referee didn't see that. It's cleared by Walton. It was just too good a turn for Somerville, who robbed McCarthy, and he tried to pull the shirt off his back. Whether the referee decided that he played the advantage as Somerville had tried to work it forward, but could easily have been pulled back for a Leeds free kick.
But you're right, Jim, but if there's no advantage, you've got to pull it back.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Strauch takes a throw. And back he goes for Hjelde, who was booked for his part in that skirmish, along with Cody Drama. Mark Rocker's got it to the relatively diminutive blonde-haired Alan Forshaw in the midfield. I'd say everything is relative. Down towards Strauch. There are several 6-footers in this Leeds team. Very versatile player, playing at left-back since coming on at half-time. Finds Click to Forshaw, and now to Mark Rocker, the £10 million signing from Bayern Munich, who's making the 200th appearance of his club career tonight. He sprays it wide out to Cody Drama. Drama to Gelhardt. Gelhardt losing out. It'll be, won back by the blonde-haired Luke Thomas for Barnsley. But they didn't have it for long. Forshaw wins it and plays it back out towards the right. And Leeds are going to make another change in a moment. Rodrigo, who's been in fantastic form at the start of this season, is the man who's going to come on. High left-footed ball swung down the Leeds left, controlled well by the retreating Somerville, who killed it on his right instep and then works it in for Strout. Great sliding challenge. That is an immaculately timed challenge inside the penalty area. Really good defending that from Wolf, where he had no margin for error.
Leeds fans calling for a penalty, but not a chance. Fabulous tackle.
Forshaw in for Gelhardt, trying to supply him with a return ball, not once but twice. And Kitching eventually could get back to get it away for a corner.
I'm surprised he looked to pass that. He was played in. It was a good little ball in behind. You're thinking, just pull the trigger with your left foot, fire it towards the far post.
Leeds' third corner of the game is taken too quickly for the referee's lag. In fact, he's indicating that the ball was moving when Click took it. He wanted to take a quick one short for Adam Forshaw. So now they'll change things up, and Greenwood goes across along with Forshaw. You would imagine it'll still be worked short. Well, not too sure that it's going to be an in-swinger, an away swinger. There are two white shirts inside the 6-yard box and another 4 preparing to make runs from the edge of the penalty area here. Forshaw runs away from it. Greenwood swings it in. It's off a Barnsley head. Cole is in there trying to help it further clear. Williams should be able to get it away, but play stops because Cole went down with what the referee thought might be a head injury. He had to stop it there, but Cole was straight back on his feet. He's okay and able to continue. We've got 16 to go, and Leeds will make their final changes. And you're in complete control in a cup tie, but you're able to bring on £25 million Dan James, and the man who scored 4 goals in 3 games in the Premier League so far this season in Rodrigo. So Rodrigo and James, the two coming on. Joe Gelhardt, the first man to come off for Leeds. What have you made of Joffy's performance tonight?
Worked very, very hard. I think just tried too hard to impress at times. When he's got in decent positions, just snatched at things, been a little bit too eager to try and go past people, and just that little bit of composure maybe has let him down. And it's tough when you're a young player, because you're trying to impress. You want to impress this 37,000 crowd in this evening. You want to impress the manager. You want to try and force your way into that first team. He's worked tirelessly, worked very, very hard, just maybe tried a little bit too hard to impress.
An enormous goal in Eindhoven for Rangers, who lead 1-0 away to PSV. They're 3-2 up on aggregate there. And it's Cholak who scored the goal for Rangers. PSV 0, Rangers 1. 3-2 on aggregate to Van Bronckhorst's men. And will they be in tomorrow's Champions League draw?
It'd be brilliant if they are,
at 5, wouldn't it just?
It'd absolutely brilliant. You know, the more home nations teams in there, the better. And potentially some fabulous ties if some of the English teams get Rangers.
We'll have the best of the Champions League action for you on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 in the same format, but much more condensed in terms of the time frame this season, with the 6 midweek sets of fixtures played over a 9-week period ahead of the World Cup. It's Adam Forshaw for Leeds, who lead 3-1. The back pass from Barnsley's Thomas finds his goalkeeper, and it's cleared and goes out to the Leeds right-hand side for Cody Drama. Yeah. Elsewhere, incidentally, Dinamo Zagreb and Copenhagen both 2-1 up on aggregate in their respective ties. In the League Cup tonight, Forest Green 0, Brighton 2, Tranmere 1, Newcastle 2. That's live for you right now over on TalkSport. And Wycombe 1, Bristol City 1 is 13 minutes away from penalties. Here, Leeds pretty comfortable. They're 3-1 up with 12 minutes to go.
I was going to say, Jim, I forgot about the Champions League will be condensed because of the World Cup. Well, yeah, we all know about the Premier League, and obviously it's going to stop for a little while in November, and we've had to squash a few fixtures into that. But I'd completely forgotten that obviously the Champions League will have to do very, very similar.
Yeah, matches played in successive weeks. This time around, Strout tries to release Rodrigo with the ball down the inside left channel that was just past him. What have you made of Rodrigo's start of the season? 4 goals in 3 games, obviously fantastic. Did you see it coming?
No, in all honesty. It came here with a big reputation. It started quite well, and then it petered out quite quickly, and it didn't quite happen for him. Last season was pretty much anonymous for big parts of the season, last year. couldn't get going. You know, even when Bamford was out for so long, couldn't really find a place in the team or consistency in performances. But this season, he's started it magnificently well.
Yeah, 6 goals last season, 4 goals by the 3rd week of August. This time around, he hasn't scored in 4 successive games in all competitions since his Valencia days, but he has the chance to do that over the next 11 minutes. 3-1 Leeds lead, and Barnsley are going to make their final changes in a moment with Connell and Hondermark, the players who are just receiving their final instructions from Martin Patterson down away to our right hand side. Throw to be taken over on the Barnsley left, and it's going to be Callum Styles who's dropped in at left back in the 5 since the first set of changes were made by the Tykes. They have possession. Their goal scorer Anderson inside his own half. Back it goes from him to McCarthy. Down towards another one of the changes, Williams. Williams is ball forward, mopped up at the back by Hjelde, who's claiming that he just took a touch off Devante Cole on its way out, but that wasn't how the linesman saw it. It will be a Barnsley throw. So the changes, Benson coming off, and Connell is going to come on for him, the former Celtic player, an Irish under-21 international midfielder who played on loan at Queen's Park last season, where he scored a fair few goals from midfield. So he comes on, and Hondermark has come on for Thomas. William Hondermark, the French-born Irish midfielder, former Norwich player. So he's on as well. So that's all of the changes made now. 5 for Barnsley, 5 for Leeds. Williams with the throw down the right. Click heads it away. It's taken a last touch off Wolf on its way out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Leeds United left. And Leeds 9 minutes away from making it through to the 3rd round. Don't forget, the draw for the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup is live for you on TalkSport at the conclusion of tonight's action. Callum Styles has got it for Barnsley. Still, they hope that they might be able to get themselves back into it and get themselves into that draw. They try and put the pressure on to win a throw over on the far side, and Dan James has obliged, cleared his lines for Leeds, and it is a throw that will be taken on the Barnsley left about 10 yards from the corner flag. A little bit of movement from Styles. It's thrown back for Connell. Back in towards Styles on the edge of the area, but Click has been able to smuggle it away. Now James to Drama. Space for Mark Rocker to turn in the midfield, and instinctively knows that Somerville is going to be on his bike and making a run, and then Somerville waiting for the ball to bounce and flicked it with his heel past him and past Williams, who has a little nibble out at him, and Leeds have a free kick, and Williams has a yellow card.
I don't think that was. I think that was a good challenge. I think it's one of those challenges where you make the challenge on the ball, it then goes into Somerville, who then falls over the ball because of the challenge, and the referee gives a foul. Just seen it again. Yeah, I think he's very, very unlucky. I'm not sure why he's helping out Somerville with cramp, Williams. Not sure I ever helped him.
I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't.
Come out of... well, might have tried to pull his hamstring.
I was going to say, you'd have been right across it, and you'd have been yanking that foot in the direction of the sky as quickly as possible.
I'd have been trying to pull his leg out of socket, let alone trying to help him out with cramp.
I think you're in pain when you went down, son. Have a bit of this.
Game's changed.
Free kick to Leeds, which is 2 yards from the left-hand side of the penalty area, and it's 10 yards from the dead ball line. And this is a really good opportunity for Leeds to put the icing on the cake here. Forshaw leaves it. Mark Rocker flashes it in, and it's just over the bar. Well, it was well met by Rodrigo. It was knocked square with pace inside the penalty area. Rodrigo running onto it, but he couldn't keep his head and his knee over the ball, and it flashes over the bar into the Revy stand.
Yeah, it was just too far past the near post, and then almost tried to flick it round the corner, and doing that, just got underneath it and scooped it up and over the crossbar.
Bristol City have a second at Wickham. Kane Wilson. And it's Wickham 1, Bristol City 2. So Bristol City, Newcastle, Leeds and Brighton, the 4 sides that are going through.
What time's the draw, Jim?
10-ish.
one of those.
Yeah, one of those.
At least it's not 4 o'clock in the morning. Was that the first year the Carabao Cup had it? First year, second year? It was about 4 in the morning or something, wasn't it, in Thailand?
Yes, it was live for a subcontinental audience, wasn't it? Something.
Just as Alan Brazil was waking up for the breakfast show.
Just as Alan Brazil should have been waking up for the breakfast show. Strauch to Rodrigo. Alan back tomorrow, of course, at 6 o'clock. Neil Warnock, former Leeds manager, joining the boys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Neil is there with Big Al from 6 tomorrow, the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Ball out of play for a throw that Strauch will take for Leeds United. 6 minutes left in this one. No real sense of jeopardy as far as Leeds are concerned. Barnsley, as mentioned a few times, been very game, but they'll be looking ahead at battles ahead now. I think Ipswich away, a big game coming up for them at the weekend against the League One leaders at Portman Road. And maybe just a few thoughts of the battles lying ahead now in the mind of Mike Duff and co. Now, as you can hear, a crowd of just short of 35,500 here at Ellen Road tonight for this Yorkshire derby.
Great energy, great noise. I mean, when I was here, they were talking about trying to make it, up to, or even moving at some stage, 50,000. Imagine 50,000 Leeds fans in here. It is one of the most hostile away grounds you can come to. Of course, I'm going to be biased, but it is one of the best atmospheres that you can play in.
Yeah, it's good as an away fan. Coming here.
It's got that old school mentality football ground, isn't it? It's not your new modern Meccano Bowl.
Now James has done really well on the Leeds right, and he tries to get it in for Rodrigo. It's cleared out of play for Leeds' fourth corner of the night, which will be taken over on the right flank. Bodo Glimt have one back, and it's Dinamo Zagreb 2, Bodo Glimt 1, and that means that's 2-2 on aggregate. And Bodo Glimt's hopes of Champions League football reinvigorated with about 20 minutes to go. Those are all 8 o'clock kickoffs. Free kick is the corner is taken short and worked in, left-footed. Magnificent attempt, almost out of nothing. Mark Rocker that tried his luck. He just brought it onto his left foot, and a cheeky attempt leaning back, almost found the top left-hand corner. A magnificent try.
Yeah, great effort. Was always going to be a little bit too high. Keeper made an effort for it, Walton, but I don't think he was ever really in danger.
Walton gets it forward, and it's flicked on towards Cole. Goal back for Barnsley now with 3 minutes to go. Would just give them a little bit of hope. Rodrigo's touch is heavy. He's toe-poked it straight over the line, almost into the Barnsley dugout. They stopped that happening, and that managed to put the brakes on himself to stop himself ending up in there as well.
Still some of the strangest dugouts you'll ever find at a football ground here at Leeds.
Well, they are dugouts.
Well, when you're sat on the bench, you cannot see the ball on the far side of the pitch. The camber of the pitch is so great that when because you're almost sat at pitch level, about 12 inches above it, you cannot see the ball on the far side.
Now a mistake, and Matty Wolf is able to pick it up for Barnsley. Tries to set up Styles, and it's really good covering from Drama. And Kjelder comes across and high-fives Drama, who's got him out of a spot of bother there. Yeah, the dugouts on this near side there, and they're sunken down. Can't think of any other clubs now where they're like that, really, whereas they have the sort of the bus shelter back to them, if you like.
It's the worst view on the planet. And that's why not a single manager sits in the dugout at Leeds, home or away.
Yeah, they're patrolling the edges of the technical area. Marsh has actually just sat down, but not in the dugout itself. Barnsley have their first corner, and it's swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box and cleared, and then Williams rifles it straight into the Norman Hunter stand from 30 yards. Out of play for a goal kick. One of the worst delivery by Luke O'Connell. The header away finding Williams, and it was not his best shot. 88 gone, Leeds 3, Barnsley 1.
Good performance from Leeds this evening. Been professional. They've come under pressure at times. Didn't really need to concede the goal that they did. A free header. Anderson at the far post. Be disappointed with that. But I have to say, so often in games like this we criticise the senior players for not having the right attitude. tonight it has been absolutely superb. They have led the way from start to finish.
Mark Rocker, Rodrigo, Drama, out to James, inside right for a moment, and then Rodrigo takes over and works it up the line for Drama. It was cleared by Kitching and it hit the young Leeds at full back and just bounced awkwardly. Styles has done well to rescue it, put Kitching under a little bit of pressure. Rodrigo threw himself into the line of fire in a bid to clear Kitching's clearance, but couldn't get anything on it, and it's gone out of play for a throw which will be taken over on the far touchline. 90 seconds to go. Leeds 3, Barnsley 1. I mentioned that Barnsley in action at Ipswich at the weekend. Leeds taking on Brighton down on the south coast, a Saturday 3 o'clock between two sides who are in the top 5, and either of them win that, they'll be in the top 2 temporarily at least, as the ball is played inside the penalty area here by the Barnsley fullback Williams. Connell goes up for it and then is able to bring it down and neatly working inside the air, and a header from Tedic goes wide, and he should have scored, and it should have been 3-2. Good ball chipped in, and Tedic had a free header, and he's put it wide from about 10-11 yards out.
He's got to hit the target. It's a great ball in. There's a little dink up. He's made the space. He's free. He's got a great sight of goal. There's nobody in his way. Has to hit the target from 8 yards out. What a great opportunity that was. If you head it down towards the foot of the post and the keeper makes an unbelievable save, then so be it. It's almost criminal to miss the target.
Well, Slobodan Tedic spent the last couple of seasons on loan in the Eredivisie, where he was far from prolific. He did once score a hat-trick in a Serbian Cup quarter-final. They really should have scored there, and that made it 3-2, and just put a little element of danger into Leeds' minds for stoppage time. You're not missing anything, incidentally, because I think Somerville is down receiving treatment for a little bit of cramp away to our right-hand side. It's been an ongoing theme for him. Leeds have made all 5 changes, so he's going to have to try and labour on if he can. He might not be able to, actually. There might be down to 10 men for the closing moments. Jeremy Simpson, the 4th official, has got the numbers board in his hand. How many extra minutes are we going to play? 4. And it does look as though Leeds are going to be a man light for maybe all of it, certainly some of it, because he's still down receiving treatment away to our right. All 4 results in this competition tonight going the way of expectation in terms of sides from the higher divisions winning them all. Brighton 2 up at Forest Green, 3-1 to Leeds here. Newcastle come from behind, lead 2-1 at Tranmere, and they're in stoppage time at Wycombe, where Bristol City are 2-1 up. Climbing high, the Danish centre-half of Barnsley, Anderson, heads it away. Somerville comes back on a little bit gingerly, so Leeds restored to the full complement of 11, and in possession with Mark Rocker. Rocker on the edge of his own penalty area finds Yelda. Played forward neatly through the midfield towards Dan James. Forshaw spinning it wide. Strout controls it with his left boot. Brings it down for Yelda to work it forward into the feet of Mateusz Klich. It's not going to be a first career hat-trick for Klich by the look of it, but he's played brilliantly.
He's got 3 minutes yet.
Ball over the top. Rodrigo chasing. Out comes Walton and flicks it away from him, then gets back to his feet quickly enough to be able to clear. Robin Cox on the end of that, and Drama will try and get the better of Styles in a battle over on the far side. Connell, who's looked pretty sharp since coming on, wins it back for Barnsley and chips it into space. Tedic chasing after it, and Yelda not taking any chances, punts it into the crowd. 3-1 with 2 minutes of stoppage time to go.
Well, Leeds now into the next round, into the hat. Job done. Really good performance, professional performance, fabulous from their senior players. Mateusz Klich has been exceptional this evening, absolutely magnificent.
Connell, little ball flighted forward down the left hand side of the penalty area for Callum Styles, twisting and turning one way then the other, and Barnsley maintaining possession. Connell rifles it in towards the near post. It's easy for Meslier to save, and he's going to be in no hurry to get back to his feet. Well, it's not a competition that's brought Leeds a huge amount of success in the recent past, but a place in the 3rd round is imminent. They've only managed that twice in 5 seasons, including this one.
The draw completely open now, Jim?
Yes, there's
not yet.
No regionalisation from this round.
And the big hitters join this round as well, don't
they? Absolutely. The sides from the Premier League who are involved in European competition haven't been involved in this competition so far, but will be in tonight's draw, which will be live for you over on TalkSport. Not here on TalkSport 2, but over on TalkSport, following the conclusion of tonight's action. Brighton have a third late in stoppage time. 3-0 they lead at Forest Green. They're going through comfortably enough. And this has been pretty comfortable by and large for Leeds, notwithstanding the fact that Callum Styles missed the penalty, which would have made it 2-2. Leeds could get a fourth yet. James racing onto a ball forward from Forshaw, but good goalkeeping from Walton, who saw the danger and raced outside his penalty area and swept up very neatly. Few heading for the hills now from the east stand over on the far touchline.
Well, I have to say, majority of Leeds fans have stayed right till the end. All credit to them when the game is pretty much over. 94th minute we're into. There aren't too many that are left, are there?
No, most have stayed till the end to applaud their side off. And Barnsley fans similarly away to our right-hand side who've travelled here in their numbers, nearly 3,000 of them making the short trip up the motorway. But ultimately this was a day when they'll look back and wonder what if Callum Styles had put that penalty in at the end of the first half to make it 2-2. Wasn't to be. This was the Matthias Klich show. He'd scored one by then. He added a sublime second just before the hour mark. Leeds United winning comfortably tonight. It's been an excellent performance from them. The senior pros leading by example, bringing the youngsters with them through to the third round of the League Cup. Barnsley can concentrate on a big trip to Portman Road to take on Ipswich at the weekend. And Leeds, we'll wait and see who they get in the draw in a moment. They've beaten Barnsley tonight by 3-1.
Yeah, really good performance. Talked about it so many times. Senior players, their attitude was absolutely spot on this evening. So many teams fail at this round because the senior players' attitude isn't quite right, and that gives the upper hand to the lower league side who have got something to prove. But they've been fantastic this evening. Matthias Klich, if he doesn't get man of the match, I've no idea what's going on. He was superb, floating around. He was the one that had the composure. He was the one pulling the strings. He was the puppet master in that. Created the penalty, scored the penalty, made it 2-0. He was absolutely superb this evening.
And it incorporated only the second brace of his club career, as we were mentioning, also his 50th career goal in club football. It really was a performance where he led by example. A lot of positives for Leeds, few positives as well for Barnsley. The youngster Luke O'Connell caught the eye as he came on. What will Mike Duff be taking away from this, do you think?
I think he'll say, look, there were periods where you matched Leeds. This is a Premier League side with a lot of very expensive players in it. You did well. So let's take this sort of performance into the weekend against Ipswich. If you can perform at that level against, which is a lesser side, that's not being disrespectful to Ipswich, if you can put on that sort of level of performance, a little bit more composure in the final third, no reason why you can't go and beat Ipswich.
So Leeds winning by 3-1 tonight. Elsewhere it's finished Forest Green 0, Brighton 3. Dennis Undav, Stephen Alzate and Evan Ferguson with the goals. Ferguson scoring in the 4th minute of stoppage time. So Graham Potter's Brighton are through. Bristol City are through as well. They won 3-1 at Wickham. They took an early lead through Dylan Kaji. Wickham equalised through Ali Al-Hamadi early in the second half, but goals from Kane Wilson and then Antoine Semenyo in stoppage time have got the job done for Nigel Pearson's Bristol City by 3-1. They're still playing live at Prenton Park over on TalkSport, where they're in the 5th minute of stoppage time. Tranmere 1, Newcastle United 2. Nevitt had given Tranmere the lead there. Lascelles and Wood have turned it around for Newcastle. Very nearly there. They'll expect to be in the draw. That draw live for you over on TalkSport. It will include Leeds after their 3-1 win here tonight.